in particular Netflix docuseries that you've been working on. What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way you represent the idea of going. It's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little odd.
50 Cent just exposed Jay-Z, and the internet is losing it. That's the headline lighting up every blog, forum, and timeline right now. After dismantling Sean Diddy Combs in his explosive Netflix documentary, The Reckoning, 50 Cent isn't slowing down. In fact, it looks like he's already set his sights on his next target. And this time, he's going after hip-hop royalty, Jay-Z.
Yeah, because he never was someone that you communicate with, that you're like friends with the person. But I always respected him because he was never an actual competitor in actual fact. He was someone who was a competitor through perception. Ja was selling more records than Jay-Z.
Yeah, I know. Juvenile, I think, sold more records than Jay-Z.
Juvenile sold more records. A lot of niggas came and sold more records than him in the period that he still sustained some sort of cool.
Yeah. About that nigga.
Yes.
It all started with one Instagram post. A post that instantly sent social media into meltdown mode. On his notoriously unpredictable Instagram account, 50 shared a controversial caricature of Jay-Z, depicting him as a version of the Camel Cigarettes mascot, Joe Cool. The image itself was jarring enough, but what really grabbed everyone's attention was what happened next. Underneath the post, a fan left a comment that read, "He's next, isn't he?" and 50 liked it. For most people, that would seem harmless. But if you know 50 Cent, you know exactly what that means. The man never moves without a reason. And he never stirs the pot unless he's about to serve something big.
If Jay-Z would have did a song with Ja Rule,
he would have got it like everybody else. He stayed clear of that motherfucker.
If Jay-Z would have jumped on the track, you would have went at Jay? Honestly.
Who do you think Jay-Z is? This is crazy. Because look, there ain't nobody.
To top it off, he captioned the post with his signature sarcasm, "Please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not gonna post it." Of course, that caption did the exact opposite of downplaying things. It confirmed the speculation. Fans flooded the comments, convinced that 50 was teasing his next expose, one that could dig into Jay-Z's own secrets. But here's the thing. This isn't just 50 trolling for attention. The timing, the tone, and the message all point to something much bigger. This move connects directly to his ongoing campaign to expose the hidden side of hip-hop's elite. A power circle that's starting to look a lot smaller and a lot more nervous. But this isn't just trolling. As one fan wrote, this connects directly to his new doc, The Diddy Scandal, and a web of secrets the hip-hop elite don't want you to hear. And from the looks of it, they're absolutely right. To understand why this new feud matters, you need to go back to where it all began. Sean Combs, The Reckoning, that Netflix documentary, executive produced by 50 Cent, peeled back layers of Diddy's empire in a way the world had never seen before. It detailed his rise, his influence, his wealth, and, most controversially, the dark allegations that followed him for decades.
Just as not guilty. Like, I want to have a life to be able to live. It's really going to be hard for me to take more hits than I take it.
You didn't do anything wrong on any front, and you've come to New York to face things head on. If anyone's ever paying any attention to what you've actually been doing, you've handled this with complete honor.
When Diddy was arrested at a New York City hotel in September 2024, most thought it would blow over like his previous scandals. But this time was different. The legal storm escalated fast. His trial began on May 5th, 2025. And by July 2nd, the jury had reached a verdict. Guilty on 2 counts of transportation for prostitution involving his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, another former girlfriend, and even male sex workers. It was a historic downfall, and 50 Cent was loving it.
They're highlighting one of the charges that he faces that hasn't gotten as much attention, and that's transportation to engage in prostitution. The jury is seeing a series of text messages, flight records, itineraries, hotel stays, and those messages are from Sean Combs to one of the male escorts that was there having sex with Cassie Ventura.
On Instagram, he posted memes, jokes, and even short clips mocking Diddy's collapse. Every post got millions of views. But underneath the trolling, there was strategy. 50 wasn't just celebrating, he was making a point. No one in hip-hop is untouchable anymore. And now that Diddy's story is public record, 50's shifting the spotlight again. This time toward a man who's managed to stay above scandal for nearly 3 decades, Jay-Z. And if you thought 50 was done after Diddy's conviction, one fan tweeted, think again. His next move has everyone talking. They weren't exaggerating. If there's one thing 50 Cent understands, it's how to turn a single post into a cultural moment. That image of Jay-Z as Joe Cool was classic 50, provocative, childish, and calculated. It dropped like a bomb across X, Instagram, and TikTok. Within hours, it was everywhere. The meme itself was outrageous, but the real story wasn't the picture. It was the message hidden behind it. By liking that "he's next" comment, 50 was hinting that Jay-Z might be the next subject of his investigative wrath. For longtime fans, this wasn't surprising. 50 has made a career out of using his social media to wage psychological warfare. He's done it with Ja Rule, Diddy, Rick Ross, and countless others. Every post feels like a joke, until it's not. Even his caption, "Please stop sending me stuff like this, I'm not gonna post it," dripped with his trademark mischief. Everyone knew what he was doing. He wanted people to think he was playing around, but the subtext was clear. Jay-Z, I'm watching you. Within hours, news sites picked it up. Hip-hop blogs, gossip pages, and reaction channels all asked the same question. What does 50 know that we don't? And maybe more importantly, why is he choosing now to bring Jay-Z into the conversation? But the post was just the surface, one fan wrote. The real reason 50's calling out Jay-Z goes way deeper. And that's where things start to get interesting. Just as 50 began hinting at new revelations, a long-dormant controversy in Jay-Z's life resurfaced. And the timing couldn't be more suspicious. Enter Rymir Satterthwaite, the man who for years has claimed that Jay-Z is his biological father. Rymir's legal guardian, Lily Coley, recently filed new federal court papers accusing New Jersey's Attorney General of distorting records in a way that she says protected Jay-Z from ever having to take a DNA test. According to Coley, this isn't a simple clerical issue. She claims the state's top legal office made material misrepresentations to federal judges, a serious accusation that could reopen the case. But the real shocker is her personal story. Coley says years of legal battles and financial pressure, allegedly fueled by liens tied to Jay-Z's legal team, drove her into bankruptcy. She calls it a devastating legal saga and insists that Jay-Z's influence has kept the truth buried for over a decade. To most people, this story had been long forgotten.
All the stuff being a victim of fraud, I had to go to bankruptcy court. And the reason why I went to bankruptcy court was to have them help me with what they call an adversary complaint. Because the underlying issues with this case is dealing with void orders, fraudulent things. Most of you know, this is all about money. In the very beginning, it started out, of course, me doing the complaint.
But now, with 50 Cent circling, the timing feels almost too perfect. Fans are connecting the dots, wondering if 50 plans to shine a light on these buried scandals in his next project. Some fans think 50's exposure could dig right into these unresolved stories, the kind Jay-Z has spent decades keeping quiet. And knowing 50's pattern, that's not impossible. Of course, no 50 Cent story is complete without a few old enemies joining the chat. After the release of The Reckoning, rumors began flying that several of 50's longtime rivals were trying to team up against him, including Jay-Z, Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez, and none other than Ja Rule.
Jay-Z, Ja Rule, Roc Nation, Desiree Perez are out to get him out of the paint. Alert.
Listen here. Everybody that is said, and Desiree Perez, all them people got dirt under them, bro. You understand? All them people got dirt on their fingernails. Jay-Z got dirt in his fingernails. You understand? Jay-Z was messing with young girls from our block, tiring them. I'm putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm picking a side. Desiree, husband, was a former drug dealer, that she turned on a whole cartel. All of them got dirt on them. And 50 got they dirt. You understand? 50 gonna know they dirt. Because 50 got investigators, he got people that's in the street. So if they go at him, listen here, I deem him like myself 10 times the normal man. He gonna do what he gotta do. And the whole thing about it is they trying to retaliate on him for something he did to somebody else.
When a fan commented about this supposed alliance on Instagram, instead, he laughed it off the only way he knows how. F them all. My momentum make them all get together. LOL. That line alone says everything about where he's at right now. 50 thrives on chaos. Every enemy, every jab, every rumor, it all feeds his momentum. And with the massive success of the Netflix documentary, he's in a position few others can touch. He's no longer just a rapper throwing shots. He's a media power player with platforms, projects, and audience loyalty that rivals the very people he's calling out. And while his rivals might be quietly plotting behind the scenes, 50's already turning their whispers into headlines, their fear into content, and their outrage into profit. And while his rivals are allegedly linking up, 50's turning it all into content and cash. Because in 50's world, every feud is just another storyline, and every enemy is free publicity. Just when things couldn't get more chaotic, another major name stepped into the mix: Nicki Minaj. Nicki, who once had a professional relationship with Jay-Z through his streaming service Tidal, just reignited a financial feud that's been simmering for years. In a fiery series of posts on X, formerly Twitter, Nicki accused Jay-Z of never paying her what she was owed after he sold his majority stake in Tidal for nearly $297 million. According to her, the payout she received was just $1 million, a fraction of what she claimed she deserved for her partnership and contribution to the platform's growth. She didn't hold back, writing, "We've calculated about 100 to 200 million so far. Jay-Z, call me to settle this karmic debt. It's only collecting more interest. You still in my top 5 though. Let's get it." The post exploded online, not only for the accusation itself, but for the tone. Nicki was simultaneously confrontational and playful.
Nicki Minaj is back on X, and she's coming for Jay-Z. So in a series of tweets, Nicki Minaj is claiming that Jay-Z owes her 100 to 200 million so far. She tweeted, "Jay-Z, call me to settle the karmic debt. It's only collecting more interest. You still in my top 5 though. Let's get it." N-word. "And anyone still calling him whole will answer to God for the blasphemy." And she is referring to, I believe, because then she says more tweets. Originally when Jay-Z did the deal with Tidal, it was a partnership.
A mix that made fans question whether she was joking or dead serious. And just when people thought things were cooling off, she dropped another cryptic line, saying anyone still calling Jay-Z Hav would have to answer to God for the blasphemy. That line alone lit up hip-hop Twitter for days. But of course, one person who wasn't going to let the moment pass quietly was 50 Cent. He jumped right in, reposting an AI-generated clip of Jay-Z wearing wigs that Nicki had shared, and with his usual smirk, he commented, "Lol WTF did they do to Nicki? I like when she get mad." The post went viral instantly, adding another layer of intrigue. Fans started speculating that 50 was aligning himself with other artists frustrated with Jay-Z's empire. Artists who feel overshadowed, underpaid, or disrespected by one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. To many, this looked less like random trolling and more like a pattern. Every move 50's made since the reckoning has been deliberate, calling out, mocking, or exposing the people sitting at the top of the hip-hop hierarchy. And with Nicki's claims echoing through social media, it suddenly felt like Jay-Z's once untouchable image was starting to crack. "It's not just about money anymore," one fan wrote. "It's about power." And 50 showing everyone what happens when you challenge it. At this point, it's clear. 50 Cent isn't just starting feuds. He's running a media chess game. What looks like social media trolling is actually part of a much bigger strategy, one built on narrative control. Through his G-Unit film and television company, 50's become one of the most influential TV producers in entertainment. His shows like Power, Power Book 2, Raising Kanan, and BMF have dominated stars and turned him from a rapper into a full-blown media mogul. But lately, his focus has shifted toward documentaries and real-life storytelling. using film and streaming platforms to expose, investigate, and reshape how the world sees hip-hop's biggest names. The success of Sean Combs' The Reckoning proves something major, that 50 can go head-to-head with billionaires, expose their darkest chapters, and come out even stronger. That's why fans believe Jay-Z might be next, not just for drama, but because 50's building a pattern of power takedowns. He's not attacking random celebrities. He's challenging the people who've held control over the industry for decades. He's rewriting the unspoken rule that says some names are off limits. And the most fascinating part? 50's doing it all while laughing. He's not scared, he's entertained, and that energy drives his audience wild. Now, with Jay-Z's reputation being quietly questioned and old controversies re-emerging, 50 holds all the cards. He's not just a rapper or a troll. He's become hip-hop's truth teller, media disruptor, and ultimate provocateur. And that raises the million-dollar question. Will Jay-Z respond, or will he stay silent and let 50 control the story? Because if Jay-Z's silence worked before, 50's making sure it doesn't work now. As the drama unfolds, the internet has exploded into chaos. Fans, media personalities, and fellow artists are all taking sides, and the division couldn't be clearer. Some see 50 as the last fearless voice in hip-hop, the one person bold enough to say what everyone else won't. They flood the comments with praise like, "He's the last truth teller left. This man doesn't fear anyone, billionaire or not." Now, with Jay-Z's reputation being quietly questioned and old controversies re-emerging, 50 holds all the cards. He's not just a rapper or a troll, he's become hip-hop's truth teller, media disruptor, and ultimate provocateur. And that raises the million-dollar question, will Jay-Z respond? Or will he stay silent and let 50 control the story? Because if Jay-Z's silence worked before, 50's making sure it doesn't work now. As the drama unfolds, the internet has exploded into chaos. Fans, media personalities, and fellow artists are all taking sides, and the division couldn't be clearer. Some see 50 as the last fearless voice in hip-hop, the one person bold enough to say what everyone else won't. They flood the comments with praise, like, "He's the last truth teller left. This man doesn't fear anyone, billionaire or not." But others are calling him out, saying he's gone too far, accusing him of using real scandals for clout, exploiting serious situations just to boost his brand. "He's just doing it for clicks," one critic wrote. There's a fine line between exposing truth and chasing attention, and 50's dancing on it. Still, no one can deny one thing. 50 knows how to keep people watching. Every post, every jab, every cryptic line is engineered to create conversation. Whether you love him or hate him, you're paying attention. And that's exactly what keeps him powerful. And as the chatter continues, fans can't shake one question that's been hanging since that infamous Instagram like, "He's next, isn't he?" Because if 50's cryptid post actually means what people think it does, Jay-Z might soon find himself the subject of a documentary that could shake the culture all over again. And if there's one thing we've learned, once 50 sets his sights on someone, there's no going back. From Diddy's dramatic downfall to Jay-Z's rising controversy, 50 Cent's mission to expose hip-hop's untouchables is nowhere near finished. To some, he's delivering justice, forcing accountability on powerful figures who've evaded it for years. To others, he's playing a masterful game of media manipulation, using scandalous storytelling, turning chaos into content, and controversy into cash. But whether you see him as a truth seeker, a troll, or a marketing genius, one thing is undeniable. Because if 50's cryptic post actually means what people think it does, Jay-Z might soon find himself the subject of a documentary that could shake the culture all over again. And if there's one thing we've learned, once 50 sets his sights on someone, there's no going back. From Diddy's dramatic downfall to Jay-Z's rising controversy, 50 Cent's mission to expose hip-hop's untouchables is nowhere near finished. To some, he's delivering justice, forcing accountability on powerful figures who've evaded it for years. To others, he's playing a masterful game of media manipulation, using scandal as storytelling, turning chaos into content and controversy into cash. But whether you see him as a truth seeker, a troll, or a marketing genius, one thing is undeniable. 50 Cent has changed the way hip-hop power works. The old guard used to control the headlines. Now, 50 is the headline. And as the world waits to see if Jay-Z breaks his silence, the industry's holding its breath, Because if history repeats itself, 50's next expose might just rewrite the story of another hip-hop icon. From Diddy's downfall to Jay-Z's alleged secrets, 50 Cent's mission to expose hip-hop's untouchables isn't slowing down. Whether it's justice, revenge, or genius marketing, one thing's certain, this story is far from over. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe to Holly Hype TV for the latest updates, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, peace out.